My beloved child, there is a reason your heart has been trembling between faith and exhaustion, between the ache of what you've waited for and the whisper that tells you it's time to let go. And I, Jesus, am here to tell you that the moment you stop waiting for them, yes, the one whose absence still echoes through your prayers, the one you believed was necessary for your healing, your breakthrough will come, not as a faint light at the end of your suffering, but as a flood of peace that cannot be shaken by memory or loss, because I have been waiting for you to release what no longer carries your purpose. You have confused waiting with loyalty, and in your quiet devotion, you began to worship the idea of what could have been more than the truth of what is, and that is why your spirit has felt heavy, why every sign you've asked me for seemed silent, why every door stayed closed, because I cannot bless a table still set for someone I have already removed from your story. The moment you unclench your hands from what left, your miracle will no longer be delayed, for I never designed you to be defined by who stayed or who walked away. I designed you to rise from ashes that others thought would consume you, to see that I never subtract without the intention to multiply. There is someone right now who is waking up with your name in their spirit, not out of love but out of regret, realizing they walked away from a divine connection, a chosen soul, a vessel of light, and while they will reach out soon, drawn by guilt and longing, you must understand that not every hand extended toward you is meant to be held again. I am preparing something sacred for you, something so aligned with your destiny that the very energy you used to chase people will now be used to attract blessings that cannot betray you. When you finally stop waiting for them to recognize your worth, you'll begin to see that I never needed them to. Your healing was never meant to come from the same place your heartbreak was born. I have seen you cry at night, whispering, "Lord, why did they stop loving me?" And I have answered softly, "Because I needed you to love yourself again." You have been sitting at the edge of your promise, wondering why nothing moves, but the truth is, it's been waiting on you. Heaven does not move when you hold on to ghosts. Heaven moves when you surrender. That's why I allowed their silence. That's why I let certain messages never come through. Because if they did, you would still be trapped in the illusion that your future depends on them. You think your heart broke because of rejection, but your heart actually broke because it was expanding. It was growing to make room for what's next, and what's next requires a stronger version of you. Soon, there will be an unexpected shift. You will feel peace where there used to be panic. You will wake up one morning and realize you no longer crave the apology that never came. That's how you'll know your breakthrough has started, not through noise, but through stillness. And when that happens, doors that once felt sealed will open without resistance, because your energy will finally match what I've been trying to give you. You will see new opportunities appear out of nowhere, not because you earned them, but because you aligned with them by letting go. You will be blessed in the exact area you were once broken. You will receive messages, offers, and open doors that seem impossible, because they are not from people, they are from me. But I need your heart fully, not half still waiting for someone to come back. I need your faith pure, not polluted by nostalgia. When you stop waiting for them, you start walking with me again. Every time you let go of someone who can't carry the weight of your calling, you step closer to the promise I've written for your life. So tonight, when you lie down and your thoughts try to pull you toward what you've lost, I want you to say this: Lord, I release what no longer reflects you. I trust what's coming even if I don't see it yet. Because when you do, heaven will respond faster than you imagine. There are angels already in motion, aligning circumstances, shifting hearts, and preparing divine encounters that will make you understand why certain people never came back. I am not withholding love from you. I am rewriting it. And when your next chapter begins, you will not have to beg anyone to see your worth, because those who are meant for you will recognize it instantly, just as I always have. Your waiting season is ending, my child. Your breakthrough begins when you stop waiting for them and start trusting me. My beloved, listen carefully. What you call waiting has become a form of imprisonment, not faith. You have mistaken your patience for purpose, and your hope for healing, but the truth is that you are still holding the door open for someone who already walked out of the divine plan I wrote for you. You keep replaying conversations, scrolling through old memories, checking signs, hoping that maybe the delay means destiny. But I, Jesus, tell you now, your breakthrough cannot enter through the same door that disappointment guards. Every time you wait for someone to return who was never meant to stay, you teach your soul to doubt what I promise you. But child, I am a God of completion, not confusion. The restlessness in your spirit, the ache you feel when you think of them, that's not punishment, it's your divine signal that your spirit has outgrown that chapter. You are being called to ascend, but you keep looking down, searching for pieces of yourself in someone I have already removed from your path. When I said, I stopped what you wanted because I'm sending what you need, I meant that the pause, the delay, the silence, it was all a setup to protect your promise. You see, sometimes I will allow the one you prayed for to reject you, not because you are unworthy, but because they were too small for the destiny I placed within you. You are not broken, you are being rerouted. The very thing you thought was ending your life was actually saving it. You were crying over closed doors that were meant to be sealed forever because behind those doors were distractions, delays, and destruction. I heard you when you asked, Lord, why does it hurt so much if it's your will? And my answer is this: it hurts because you were attached to a version of love that was never designed to last. You saw forever in them, but I saw boundaries they could never cross without breaking your spirit. And because I love you too much to let you settle for survival when I called you for abundance, I had to intervene. The one who left did not take your joy, they revealed who was holding it hostage. And now, my child, I am returning to you everything they tried to take, your confidence, your peace, your laughter, your fire. But before I can deliver your blessing, you must deliver your heart back to me. You must stop praying for what I have already protected you from. Stop asking me to rebuild what I have already burned for your safety. You think you're losing time, but you're actually gaining alignment. The reason your breakthrough feels delayed is because I cannot pour new oil into an old vessel still leaking faith through the cracks of what if? The moment you decide you're done waiting for them, not out of bitterness, but surrender, that's when the heavens open. That's when the angels I've stationed around you begin to move. That's when opportunities start to chase you instead of you chasing validation. My beloved, your story is about to shift from waiting to witnessing. You are about to see how I can turn what broke you into the very bridge that leads you into destiny. The people who once doubted you will watch you rise in silence, and their confusion will be your confirmation that I am with you. They thought leaving you would break you, but what they didn't know is that their absence was the soil for your awakening. And while they are still trying to find themselves, I am about to make your light so bright that they'll have no choice but to remember the one they mocked, ignored, and underestimated. You are not behind schedule. You are exactly where I need you to be for your miracle to find you. Stop watching the clock. Start watching what I'm doing in the unseen. While you mourned what ended, I was constructing what's eternal. Your prayers were not ignored, they were being translated into divine movement. Heaven never forgets a tear shed in faith. Even your silence has been speaking to me louder than your words. The sighs, the moments you said, I'm tired, the nights you asked for just one sign, all of it reached my throne. And because you kept believing even when nothing made sense, I am going to reward you in a way that doesn't either. Doors that others knocked on for years will open effortlessly for you. You will be the one they look at and whisper, how did they do it? Not realizing it wasn't you, it was me. The one you waited for was never your destination, they were only your detour. I am leading you somewhere far greater than reconciliation. I am leading you to revelation. You will soon understand that the greatest love story is not the one between you and another human being, but between you and me. The moment you stop waiting for them, your heart will remember how to breathe again, and your spirit will remember that I have been waiting for you all along. And when you step into that space, when you finally release them fully, you won't need to chase what's meant for you. It will recognize your healed heart and find you itself. So hold on, child. You are closer to your breakthrough than you've ever been. Heaven is not waiting for them, it's waiting for you to stop. My beloved, there is something sacred unfolding right now, something you cannot see with your eyes but your spirit has begun to sense, a divine rearrangement that requires your full release of what you keep waiting for. I, Jesus, have been walking beside you even in your quiet nights when the emptiness feels loud, when you whisper into the darkness hoping to hear the voice that once comforted you. You think you are waiting on them to return, but heaven knows that I have been waiting on you to remember who you are without their validation. You have mistaken attachment for devotion and delay for destiny, but I am not a God who leaves you in waiting forever. I am the God who uses the waiting to prepare your wings. You are in a divine pause, not because you are forgotten, but because you are being recalibrated for what's next. The person you've been waiting for cannot carry the weight of the anointing I've placed upon you. Their presence in your next chapter would have compromised the purity of your purpose. They were sent to teach you discernment, not to hold your future. You prayed for love, and I gave it, but love is not always meant to last forever. Sometimes, it's meant to awaken you. You needed to know what false love feels like so that when real love arrives, you will not confuse pain for passion or manipulation for meaning. I allowed your heart to break because I needed it open wide enough for my light to enter. You have been looking at your scars and calling them proof of loss, but I call them proof of resurrection. Every time they ignored you, I was teaching you to listen to me instead. Every time they failed to see your worth, I was showing you the mirror of my grace. And every time you reached for them and felt nothing but silence, I was whispering, "Let go." The silence was not cruelty, it was clarity. I needed to make sure you could finally hear my voice over the noise of your need. You see, I never wanted to take love away from you. I wanted to redefine it. The one you've been waiting for cannot meet you where I am taking you. Their journey is still tied to earthly desires, but yours is now ascending into something divine. You were never meant to be the one waiting at the gate. You were meant to be the one walking through it. The blessing you've been praying for is already written, it's already moving toward you, but it cannot find you until you stop standing still, waiting for a shadow to return. You must trust that if something left your life, it was because its time expired in your purpose. Stop calling expired things miracles. Stop calling delays devotion. When you finally surrender the idea of them, you will make room for the destiny I have prepared. And it is so much greater, child, so much more beautiful than what you think you lost. You have cried over the wrong ending when I was trying to start a better beginning. I know it's hard to understand now, but soon you will see that the silence you hated was the soil where your breakthrough was planted. You have been asking, "Lord, why does this pain feel endless?" And my answer is simple. It only feels endless because you keep reopening wounds I have already healed. I cannot pour new joy into a heart still holding grief like a trophy. You've romanticized your suffering, believing that the more you ache, the more holy you are. But I tell you, healing honors me far more than hurting ever could. You glorify me most not through your brokenness, but through your wholeness. That is why I am calling you to step out of the waiting room of someday and into the abundance of now. When you release what isn't aligned, you release yourself from delay. You have waited long enough for them to say the words you deserved years ago, for them to recognize your worth, to return what they took. But child, that recognition was never theirs to give. It was mine. And I never stopped seeing you, even when they did. I never stopped believing in your light, even when they turned their back on it. I never stopped holding you through the nights when you wondered if you were too hard to love. You are not hard to love, you were just surrounded by those who couldn't love deeply enough. That's why I've separated you. Isolation isn't rejection, it's recalibration. I had to pull you away so you could remember what it feels like to stand in my presence without depending on their attention. Soon, you will look back and realize that every delay was divine protection, that every unanswered message was mercy, that every door that didn't open was me keeping you from pain disguised as purpose. Your breakthrough is not somewhere distant, it's already forming in the unseen. The moment you stop waiting for them, your atmosphere will shift. People will begin to appear who speak to your soul instead of your scars. Opportunities will align like pieces of a puzzle that finally make sense. The favor that felt delayed will come rushing like a flood, because heaven was never holding it back, you were. But now, as you read these words, I am breaking that chain. I am releasing you from emotional captivity. You are not waiting for love anymore, you are walking into it. You are not waiting for a sign, you are the sign. I am about to make your obedience visible. I am about to show you what happens when a heart fully surrenders. And when your miracle arrives, you will know it's from me because it will not confuse you, it will not drain you, and it will not require you to shrink. It will feel like peace, and peace is the language of heaven. So, my beloved, stop waiting for them. The moment you let go, everything that's been waiting for you will finally be free to arrive. My beloved child, this is the hour when everything begins to make sense, the sacred moment where the waiting you mistook for punishment is revealed as preparation, where the tears you thought were wasted become the water that nourished your blessing beneath the surface. For I, Jesus, have not forgotten you, not for a second, not even when you questioned if I was listening, not even when you felt abandoned by both heaven and earth. For I have been near, closer than your breath, working in silence. Because some miracles are too fragile to form in noise. You think your breakthrough depends on their return, but child, your breakthrough has already begun the moment your spirit whispered, "Lord, I'm done waiting." You thought surrender meant giving up, but it was actually your act of unlocking. You did not lose them, you released delay. You did not fail, you fulfilled a divine exchange. You handed me your heartbreak, and now I am handing you your harvest. The one you've been waiting for may soon come back, drawn by guilt, nostalgia, or sudden clarity, but listen closely. This return is not your reward, it's your test. Will you run back to what hurt you, or will you recognize that I have healed you? The version of you that begged, waited, and wept no longer exists. You've been transformed through fire, and those who left cannot comprehend the strength you carry now. You are no longer chasing closure from human lips because heaven has already spoken your completion. I needed to separate you to sanctify you, to take away the noise so you could finally hear my truth, to let you lose what you thought was essential so you could discover what was eternal. And now, child, everything that once felt heavy will begin to lift. The confusion will fade, the chaos will quiet, and the road ahead will no longer look uncertain because you will finally see that the detour was the destination. You've been praying for restoration, but I am giving you resurrection. What you thought was over is being reborn, not in the same form, but in a way that cannot break again. You will no longer wait for their love. You will be surrounded by divine love that overflows from every side, through people, opportunities, and peace that surpasses understanding. I am sending a wave of favor that will wipe away every trace of sorrow. Those who doubted you will witness the fruit of your faith, and those who walked away will remember the light they once mocked, but by then you will be too far in your purpose to look back. The pain you carried was the price of perspective, and now that you've paid it, nothing will ever enslave you again. You will wake up with a joy you cannot explain, a quiet assurance that something beautiful has begun. You will see signs everywhere, numbers, songs, encounters, that confirm you are walking in divine timing. Even your environment will start to shift. People will speak life over you without knowing why. Doors will open that were never meant to be opened by effort but by grace. And you will begin to feel as if heaven itself is bending toward you, because it is. The angels you thought were silent have been in motion, aligning everything I promised, and the delay you endured was simply me protecting you from premature blessings that would have crushed an unready heart. But now, your heart is ready, and so is heaven. So when that call comes, the apology, the message, the temptation to return to what's familiar, pause and remember this: I never recycle pain, I redeem it. I never call you backward, I call you higher. And your higher season has begun. The blessing that is coming will not need convincing, it will not come with uncertainty, it will arrive sealed with peace. You will feel it in your spirit before it appears in your life. This is the moment when your waiting turns into walking, your faith turns into fulfillment. You will step into rooms you once prayed to be worthy of, and you will realize you were worthy all along. Your story will become someone else's survival guide. Your scars will speak louder than your wounds ever did. And every time you think of the one you waited for, you will smile, not from bitterness, but from gratitude, knowing that their absence made room for your abundance. I am about to crown you with the same grace that carried you through every breakdown. Your name is being mentioned in places you haven't even imagined. What was hidden is being revealed. What was delayed is being delivered. You are stepping into the season where prayers manifest and promises materialize. The world will not recognize you because the glow of glory will replace the grief of waiting. So lift your head, child, for your waiting has ended. I, Jesus, have rewritten your story, and this final chapter is not about who left, it's about who you've become. The one who mocked your patience will soon witness your miracle. The one who doubted your devotion will hear of your destiny. And the one you once waited for will finally see what you've always known, that you were never waiting for them, you were waiting for this. Your breakthrough is here, your blessing is unfolding, and heaven is standing at attention, whispering, "It's time." So step forward, beloved. The waiting is over. What I have for you cannot be delayed another moment, because the moment you stopped waiting for them was the moment I began releasing everything you've been waiting for.